Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the BVB update. I'm Stefan Butzko, and once again I will use this format to cover Borussia Dortmund's news of the day and other shenanigans. But obviously, first of all, a big thank you for everyone who tuned in yesterday when I launched this little format and the exclusively positive feedback, which I'm very proud of, because that obviously does not happen often if you upload anything to the internet. So yeah, obviously yesterday my plan kind of was to start with Sebastian Aller and his announcement, but that did not quite happen. But yeah, let's anyway try to start off with a bang. And that bang is Jamie Bino-Gittens, who managed to win the Euros, the under-19 Euros with England. It's going to be his only international trophy, is my prediction, since he is playing for England. Obviously, big congrats, Jamie, and I hope there will be some silverware along the way in a black and yellow shirt as well. And yeah, Ruhrnachrichten are reporting that obviously, because he just literally played yesterday, he will have a very extended vacation and he is expected to join Dortmund's preseason in Switzerland, which once again takes place in Bad Ragaz, and the training camp in Switzerland starts on July 15th. So that means he has a couple of weeks, but I assume maybe he'll even join a bit later, because the training camp there goes on for 2 weeks or so. So yeah, we'll see. But anyway, I think this is sort of the main concern, Ruhrnachrichten, right, that he sort of has to weigh whether he wants to lose ground to opposition within the team and you know, miss out on valuable training time with the senior team because he's still an under-19 player. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see when he will return, and obviously I personally am super excited about him. Alright, so let's move on to another couple of quotes of Niklas Süle, because I obviously covered yesterday's quotes that were cited from the Borussia magazine, but today Borussia Dortmund uploaded a whole new video on their YouTube channel interviewing him, and I think there are a couple of interesting quotes. I'm not going to go through all of them, but yeah, he did say, "I think the main way to conquer the hearts of the fans is by playing well. People will see that I'm getting stuck in for the club colors, and that's definitely my goal. Then I think people will really enjoy coming to games, and maybe they'll even say, hey, he was a pretty good signing. That's what I'm hoping for." And yeah, then he also said something that I thought was very interesting after sort of praising the transfers that Dortmund have done, you know, talking about how Gregor Kobel is a bit more shouty, if you will, on the field, and you know, has a more commanding presence because they did play as teammates back in the day at Hoffenheim, and how he knows Nico Schlotterbeck and Karim Adeyemi from the national team already. And yeah, what he then said is, if we manage to form a close-knit group, we have endless quality here as a football team, and we can achieve great things. And I think it's a nice little quote that I want to highlight, just because you know, he was obviously talking about his ambitions without saying the M word, the Meisterschaft word, you know, and really sort of going all in on declaring that he wants to win a championship. But from the interview, it becomes clear that that's pretty much the goal. But more importantly, I think the team spirit is something that we all should pay attention to, because I think it lacked a little in last season. And there are a couple of new guys who really come with the idea to form a new spirit, a new group, and Niklas Süle just talked about it. And if you're now saying, hey Stefan, why are you reading me quotes from a YouTube video I can watch on YouTube myself? Yeah, then you're obviously absolutely right. But I also want to give you some insights of how German media is covering Borussia Dortmund, and that's why I'm contextualizing this a little bit, because Süddeutsche Zeitung today had an editorial about Niklas Süle, and Martin Schneider, the author of this piece, is basically writing that it may have not been entirely up to chance that it was Niklas Süle who was the first of the many Dortmund signings to you know, be interviewed on the Borussia Dortmund's own channels, just because he wanted to wrestle back the narrative of his own transfer, if you will, because obviously a lot of things were said and written about Niklas Süle, and now he's once again explaining that there was a bit of a lack of respect. And obviously, I think, you know, Süle clearly won back the narrative also just by the fact that Bayern really did not want to lose him. Julian Nagelsmann said that he clearly wanted to keep him Manuel Neuer is quoted in this piece also that he found this transfer rather annoying. And Niklas Süle also came through the youth ranks, I think it says here somewhere, together with Goretzka and Kimmich. And yeah, it's obviously quite interesting how this is being perceived outside of the Dortmund bubble. And yeah, I think it's a bit of a loss for Bayern, obviously, but more importantly, as I just read the quotes back to you, I think it's a massive gain. I think Niklas Süle is going to be a huge player, and I think he understands very well what his role is going to be. You know, he says really that he's not going to be a role player, that he's turning 27 soon, and in that regard, yeah, he wants to lead on the field. And, you know, I think for Dortmund fans, it's going to be just fun if with his physique, an opponent just bounces off of him. I personally am looking forward to that. So, yeah, that's all on Süle, of course, for now, just because, yeah, I've covered him extensively now, and now it's hopefully time soon to talk about Sebastian Aller. But in the meantime, let's real quick take a look at what Bild wrote today. I don't know how much you want to read into this, if there's any truth to it, because it's Bild and they do, you know, trade with a lot of half-truths, let's say. But they do write that Dortmund are serious about signing left back David Raum, and that basically is also dependent on the transfer of Rafael Guerreiro, because remember, Guerreiro's contract is running out in 2023. So now is either the time to extend the contract or leave in Dortmund's eyes, I guess, because I'm pretty sure Dortmund do not want to lose him on as a free transfer, but there are also reports out there that Guerreiro does not want to leave right now. And to that effect, I also don't think that David Raum joining Dortmund this season is very realistic. Obviously, a lot of Dortmund fans really wish that would happen. But yeah, for now, it's not looking that way. Obviously, things can always change on a dime. And yeah, to the last story then, I guess. And that's from my old ESPN colleague, Stefan Ürsfeld. And that's not about Dortmund, but who cares? And the headline is Ice Cold Mercenary at Bayern Munich, the sad ending of Robert Lewandowski. And yeah, it's basically, once again, a summary of how the transfer saga of Robert Lewandowski at Bayern is unfolding. And I just wanted to, you know, give it a quick shout out from a standpoint of Schadenfreude, because let's be real, Lewandowski has tormented Dortmund for many, many years. So the fact that headlines like these exist now, I very much enjoy. Yeah, that's it for today. Maybe put in the comments when you think Sebastian Aller will finally be announced, because I frankly don't know. And if you get the prediction right, you'll get a nice little shout out if that's something you seek. I don't know. Don't put never, because that's not going to work. But yeah, as I said, thank you for tuning in, and let me know in the comments also what you think of the show, what can be improved, etc., etc. So yeah, until next time, goodbye.